During my tour, a lively group of tweens, with a handful of enthusiastic adult facilitators, was dissecting fish in one of the center's sophisticated science lab spaces. A group of young teens was working with other facilitators on self-selected independent science projects for an upcoming symposium where they present their findings to the larger community. Open Connections has a no-screen policy, except for the shared laptops and computers that the center offers. One teen was sitting on the couch using her laptop to research ancient water purification systems. Another was exploring the impact of gender bias on perception. The oldest teen group, assembled in a spacious and comfortable upstairs loft area in the center's elegantly restored barn building, was debriefing their latest fundraiser. Each year, the oldest teens work on a self-selected group project, and each year they always seem to choose a trip to a far-flung city. Then they do all of the travel planning, reservations, rate negotiations, and fundraising to ensure that the trip is fully paid for all attendees. For their first fundraiser, the teen group wrote, directed, and produced a dinner theater performance for the larger community that was a big success. When I visited, they were engaged in a dynamic brainstorming discussion to decide on their next fundraiser. The key difference between self-directed learning centers like Open Connections and other progressive education options is that Open Connections is an alternative to school, not simply an alternative school. As registered homeschoolers, parents retain education autonomy and can take advantage of part-time programming tied to children's interests and free from compulsory schooling mandates around attendance, curriculum, and assessment. This grants young people the agency to learn what, when, how, and with whom they want, without an adult-imposed agenda. Like adults, young people engaged in self-directed education have the freedom to choose. With the support of their learning community, children and teens are able to decide how to spend their time and to pursue topics that most interest them, sometimes in a structured classroom way and sometimes not. Their learning is self-determined. While his peers rest in retirement, Peter Bergson is not slowing down. He is working to expand the vision of unschooling and self-directed education to more families in more places. Now that Open Connections serves nearly 100 families with 25 dedicated staff members and is almost entirely self-sustaining with an endowment that Peter and his team have been building for over 3 decades, he recently launched the Natural Creativity Center in the Germantown section of Philadelphia. Peter has long believed that self-directed education should be accessible to all families regardless of socioeconomic background. As much as I love nurturing Open Connections into existence over the majority of my career, he tells me, I always had it in the back of my head that I wanted to make self-directed education available to low-income and moderate-income families. While he has tried tirelessly over the years to make Open Connections accessible to all families regardless of ability to pay, he knew that bringing an unschooling center to the heart of the city was the best way to reach underprivileged families. In January 2016, Natural Creativity opened in the rented education space of a local church. It currently serves as a natural learning incubator for about 20 young people from the surrounding neighborhoods, most of whom have subsidized tuition. Like Open Connections, all of the young people at Natural Creativity are registered homeschoolers, with the center serving as a part-time complement to the learning that they are already engaged in at their homes and in their larger community. Peter views unschooling resource centers as spaces that can augment an individual's personal learning process, but the responsibility for education rests with the individual child. As Peter explains, education is an internal process within the individual. I can't give you an education. It's not a product. I can't make you think. I can't motivate you. All of those things are the result of internal decisions and connections. Knowing yourself and what you want are largely neglected in conventional, structured schooling. Natural Creativity focuses on facilitating the process of learning, with the product left up to each individual. Mountains of books and materials line the colorful walls. A gigantic set of Cuisenaire counting rods consumes the entirety of the coffee table.